Buy 55 of these. Buy 55 of these. Not financial advice. Buy 55 of these. We want 55 of these, 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 55 of these. All right, that was for Pokey money. Now that they're gone and that you guys are still watching, let's go ahead and jump in. What's going on, everyone? Vampyr Gaming here, and before we begin, just do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, and then also click this link right here in the YouTube video description. It'll take you to TCGPlayer where you can shop singles that you'd already be buying. Even if you don't plan on grabbing some now, just click that, get ahead of the PRB. It helps me out way more than you know. And let's just kind of talk about, so obviously if you guys haven't seen this video, I was like, this card is incredibly undervalued, and apparently the rest of the internet and Pokemoney decided it was as well. So another great reason to hit that subscribe button, just try to be ahead as much as possible. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So of course today we're going to be talking about PRB, Premium Booster, the best. It's actually Premium Reprint Booster, the best, PRB. But volume 2, which is a brand new set, we're going to talk about all the cards that I'm hoping to buy and then the prices that I kind of want these at. And please do not take this as any kind of like financial advice, anything like that. Don't buy any cards you cannot afford, and don't spend money you don't have on cards. At the end of the day, it is just a game and life comes first. That being said, of course, the first card I'm going to be buying is Marco. Now, of course, you all know they can this time around on PRB. PRB did not sell well in Japan. PRB was incredibly desirable here, had zero demand in Japan. So it was like heavily, if you go off of the Japanese market, it would make no sense to kind of stock it in the ways that they did there for us, because it didn't perform well, because cards are already cheap in Japan. Big shocker. So this time around, Bandai came together, thought, hey, how can we make this booster better? And the answer was new cards. And so they gave three new cards, 18 in total. 3 new cards to every single color, 1 super rare and 2, I believe, rares. 2 rares. And Marco is one of these cards. Marco is the first card, and I think he is the best card in the set by far. Arguably the Green Luffy. And you can pick him up. But he's good. He's a good card. But this card just says draw 2 cards. This card is going to be important for Red Blue Ace, so that is why I will be buying it. But at the same time, this card, Nami's gone, but it's paving the way to be a staple in every single blue deck for all of Block 5 and Block 6. So Blocks 3, 4, 5, 6 will all have the way paved for this card to be a staple throughout. And then, of course, what's interesting is I wonder if they'll put PRB cards in the new PRBs. So that's also a thing. I would ideally like this card at $10 or under. $10 or under. It is at least, it was like $6 in Japan, so I know it has to be more expensive than that. But anything more than $10 on a brand new super rare is kind of crazy. Also, what Bandai likes to do is they usually do like 2 waves, and once they do a restock wave, card singles really take a dive. In the sense, like you can look at Mihawk right now, it's like a $5 card because wave 2 of OP10 or OP11 just hit. So use that information as you will. My ideal price is going to be $10 on these. At 10, I'd buy more than 1 playset personally, but I would never, if this is this, I just won't play Red Blue Ace, I'll just play Emu. So, do it that way you will, because Emu's gonna be disgustingly cheap compared to everything else. Then, of course, the Sabo. So really, any of the super rares can be a buy. I think the Sabo is flying under the radar. This card is effectively Purple Sanji, Soba Mask. That's not Soba Mask. Purple Sanji, and the fact that this card has the potential to be a black staple for the Dawn of Time, because black likes to trash cards. So I think that this card will have relevance because it's a 3/6 with the 2K is how you should read this card. It's a 3/6, that's a 2K, and that stat line on any card is busted. So with that in mind, I think this card, I think it's worth having. I think long-term it's a great card to have, too. Again, PRB03 could have PRB02 cards in it. We don't know. They could also put them in a premium set. They could put them in anything. So hopefully they'll make these easily distributed. But again, you have to look at Japan because they're going to base all their things really off of how things perform in Japan and all of Asia. And the previous PRB didn't perform well. So these cards aren't really that expensive. The Nami kind of got expensive, but so of course, you know, we kind of talk again, really just any of the super rares. Monkey D. Luffy, this card essentially, it freezes a Dawn in a way that they don't have to have tapped a Dawn. So if they attached it all and swung 8, you can still make it to where they only have 4 because they rest it at the start of their turn, which is nice. This card is very strong. You do have to have a multicolored leader, but of course red, green Luffy coming. This card's also just quite cheap to start off, so if this, assuming that this only goes down, I think this is a staple in any multicolored leader going forward, especially Straw Hats, which they really like to favor in the green colorway. Charlotte Pudding, this is also, so this being more expensive than Luffy is kind of crazy to me. Again, these are all pre-sale prices. These should all drop it like it's hot at the start of Friday morning. But this is one of those like more long-term for me's. Anything under like $3-5, I'm probably just buying these because I just don't see it being less than that just because we're all PRB, but maybe they just print it to the ground and we're all like, yay, $1 super rares. I would rather every card be worthless than a bunch of cards be worth money, if I'm being honest. But that's just me. That's my toxic trait. But this pudding has so much potential because it's effectively, what's her name? Rebecca. It's effectively a Rebecca because it lets you draw a card. You draw 2 actually, and then you play 1 Big Mom Pirates with a 6 to 8,000 power from your hand, which allows you to play out Kurei early and paves the way to be kind of like just abused to some degree and some kind of combination further down the line, and it is block 3. So we've got block 3, which is interesting because I thought this started block 4, to be honest. I thought PRB was the start of block 4. But I guess it's right at the end of block 3. But yeah, if your opponent has Big Mom Pirates, so like, if your leader is the Big Mom Pirates, so it sets up a lot. But they're setting up for Purple Rocks Pirates as well. So there's a potential for like a Rocks Lin, anything like that. I like this card if it's cheap. I love this card. And again, Boa. I actually really like this Boa. Why? So this Boa is designed great 5/7. Trash your trigger. I think that this is going to have a lot of relevance with the new Egghead Luffy. Because there's an Egghead Luffy that comes out around January. It'll be ST29, I believe. ST29. And it's confirmed life manipulation. My gut tells me that this card will somehow be good because it has the trigger, which is incredibly strong, but then you also can trash the trigger, stop, and attack, which is kind of expensive, but you have a 5/7 stat line, and you have in-life KO. So the card is double good. It's kind of cheap. Again, if this card was a $1, if this was a regular set, this card would be like $1 super, and I would just buy like 30 of them and just wait. But it's PRB, but every pack has a super rare, so there's 20 super rares per booster box. So in theory, these should be cheap. There's 20 super rares every booster box. Say it with me. There is 20 super rares in every booster box. That's a lot of super rares. Gecko Moria was cheap. That's how many super rares you got. Gecko Moria. Yep. Anyways, so I really like this card. Like, again, if this was $1, I'd buy a bunch. If this becomes $1, I buy a bunch. That's me personally. Trafalgar Law. Again, this card kind of cheap. Again, 20 super rares in a box. This card has a strong effect just across the board. He's got the best stat line for it. So you lose 2,000 power to not remove this once per turn. So that's during either player's turn. If this would be removed. So if they trigger, you can save it. And then during their turn, if they play something, you can save it. But then it's a 5k. So it's still swinging at a leader. It's still swinging at a leader. Plus, he has no Dawn commitment, minus 2,000. So it's a great evergreen effect on both sides. So again, if this was like $2-3, I'm buying a bunch. Just because it has two really strong effects that can be useful further down the line. And I would like to have this card. All right, now this is the Nami. So this is a rare. This is a rare. This card was like $10 at one point in Asia. I'm assuming because hit rates were terrible. Assuming you get 2 rares and a super. I don't know what the actual rates are, so please forgive me. I haven't been able to open any, but please somebody let everybody know in the comments below. But it's a trigger and a searcher. This will be a Straw Hat staple as long as any Straw Hat package exists. Dollar rares. I think this is an easy dollar rare. I think, this is EB01 rare-esque level. So probably around $2, $3. Because again, it is a rare. The ones in Asia have gone down a bit, but it does command a small premium. So I think this is one of those cards that may be slept on release and then kind of gets crazy later. But it could also just be very easy to pull and very generous, and then it's just going to be like $1. Like, I mean, you look at Sanji or Chopper, the Chopper that was Sanji. It was like $3. It's also printed in here, so those like quarters. But then we, of course, have Ace. Again, pretty much in the exclusive cards, but like the super rares 100%, I think, because they're all decent cards. The rares, questionable. There is the Shiryu, but I think this card overall has the most potential because they made these 3 brother decks and they've effectively continually delivered support for these decks for a very long time now. They've continually made cards for these decks. And because of that, again, if this is like $1.50, I'm buying a bunch. Because it has so much potential. This is one of the stronger. If Gecko Moria and this card existed and Gecko wasn't just busted in Emu, I still think it gives it a run for its money because it lets you do combos like you've never done before and it generates a ton of value. I'm a huge fan of this card, but it's also an ace card, so I would get it anyways. The alt looks great, but I think this is one of those, I think it's one of the better cards just overall bar for bar. And of course, Lucky Roo, this is also a great card. Any red value play is a great play. And so, again, this is probably a 50-cent rare. If I found a bunch of these 50 cents, I would buy them. Dollars, maybe. I'd be a little on the fence. I'd pick up a playset at $1. But if this was 50 cents, I'd pick up. I would take stock. Discord would eat. You feel me? Then, of course, we have Koby. I think, again, this 100% 50 cents. I would never pay more than 50 cents for this. I would never, ever pay more than 50 cents for this. But this card is, again, another value play for red. I think this card has potential. Of course, this being a 6K during your opponent's turn helps it stick on board. So if you believe in the Koby leader. But I just like this. KO one of your opponents with base power sucks. But you should just be able to draw a card. Correct me if I'm wrong. Please, in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong. Because you can do up to 1, so you can do 0, then, and you still resolve your effect. Then, if you have 6 or less in your hand, draw 1 card. Because you can resolve at 0, because if you don't have a target, you can burn a card because it didn't meet it, because you still use it. So you should still draw a card, so it enables you. It's like it's like a stronger Vampyr. Because it's a 3-4, this one's a 4-5. So it's like a stronger Vampyr that can continually allow you to draw 1 card. And Vampyr was very good in the context of Marco. So on those grounds, I think this card's really strong. And the fact that if it was 50 cents, I'd buy a lot. Benjamin Beckelman. I like Benjamin Beckelman because they don't print strong red cards. I don't think you should buy this, but I probably would because I know they don't print strong red cards. And on those grounds, so this regular ones are already pretty cheap. If I'm picking these up at quarters, because again, 20 super rares per box. It would be 20 super rares per box. So that's a lot of super rares, and they trim down the size of the set overall. So I really like Benjamin Beckelman. Quarters all day, buying them. Because I just think long term he's going to be good again, or Shanks is going to have a moment. Like, they're going to continue. Like, anyone who's relevant in the story at some point is going to see support. So Shanks is still relevant. And if he's, like, comes up in the story, they're incentivized to do it for marketing. Edward Newgate. This card, again, quarters. I absolutely love it. This card is such a strong card. This is, again, they don't print very many strong red cards. So when they do, you gotta pick them up while you can. But this card was gate kept in a deck that has PRB. So they're very, I don't know if they're gonna make more PRB, right? Like, that's the question. I would love them. I would love for them just to turn on the printers and just do another open order. It'd just be the funniest thing. But this card, especially if you can get it at quarters, I'm taking every copy they have at quarters. I'm taking every single copy that they have. And if I'm wrong, great. I have a bunch of Newgates. And if I'm right, fantastic. I have a bunch of Newgates. But very strong card. Works great with Rayleigh. Has its moments and has relevance in certain situations. And again, the other copies of this are locked behind a PRB deck. A PRB deck. So they have to reprint PRB or... yeah, like, it's just in the most unique way. So when they're cheap, I would buy a bunch. And then, like, 1 year would probably pay off. A Dio, ignore the pirate foil, but this, of course, is a reprint of Promo Dio. These should be incredibly cheap because they should be able to be pulled as just a common and then as these foils as well. So I would just buy a bunch of these. Just because it's the only other way to get it. And they'll be cheap. And then Lim's getting more support. There's a whole waifu set. So that Lim has already gotten one card. If Lim potentially gets another card, you know, we can really be talking. But the fact that they're continually willing to print support is always a good sign. And that these are like nickels, amazing. This Law, again, sorry, it's the pirate foil, but... this is a promo people are paying like $80 for. It's going to be, should be, don't quote me, incredibly easy to pull because it's like lower hanging fruit in the set. And it's a very strong effect. It's useful in P-Kid. So if you need it for that, you can buy it. Again, link in the video description. Click that. Thank you. Wait. Yep. All right. You clicked it. Awesome. Now, it should be incredibly cheap. Again, like quarters. And I think because this promo was gate kept for us for so long, I think that it can have its moment once again. Especially as, like, again, there's a Luffy deck that's coming out that I'm imagining is going to be Supernova. And we've got confirmed life manipulation. And it's Egghead themed. So it should be yellow. This could be a relevant card in it. That's why I like it. All right, now, of course, I'll be buying this. Please don't hurt my wallet. This literally hurts my soul. But it is probably the second best-looking Shanks card ever printed. But it should be Pokemoney. It's worth nothing. It's worth nothing. It's the worst card ever made. Jinbe, again, quarters, pick them up. If they're rares, these are the rares. It's exclusive. Quarters, pick them up. Shirahoshi, Weepy Toshi. This is EBO1. Anything EBO1 I really like because, again, it's gate kept behind a very strong product, and then it's here. And, again, 20 supers per box. There should be a lot of these. I paid probably $6. I'm so happy to lose money on these. I'm so happy for you guys. Literally, genuinely. I love it. Again, I'd rather every card I own be worth nothing than be worth a bunch of money. If it meant, like, you can't play the game. But, yeah, this dollars, easy. EBO1, because, again, it's a unique situation. TBD, how they operate PRB02 in terms of, like, continually stocking the product. and how long it'll be. Like, I mean, PRB01 was just at Bandai Card Fest, so I imagine we'll probably have like 3-4 Bandai Card Fest where you can still buy PRB02, and I imagine probably some you can still buy PRB01. So you'd be like, let me get PRB01, PRB02, PRB03, and then the Bandai stores always eat good too. So, but yeah, I like Shirahoshi. I like Brook. Again, if I actually am not down money on these because I bought them for $2. And if you follow Vampyr Gaming on YouTube, he did say this was a great buy at $2. Shout out him. So I bought it because of him. You guys should subscribe. But yeah, Brook, great card. Forever going to be good. It should get an updated block number to block 3 now too. So it's probably got 2028 worth of play. So you get 3 years worth of play in the card. And it's one of the best black cards ever made. It's the best removal and best minus. And just a body. So, if they made a 4-5 with the same thing, probably be busted. But the 3 is perfect because you don't have to play. But yeah, you guys know when you're going first, this 5, remove something, play Jack, you're in there. You won. You won. But I like this card. I don't like this price, but $3, $2 all day. Cabbage Patch. This card is being reprinted twice. This card, you should not pay more than $8. I think 8. I really do. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't want to pay more than 8. He's in the Learn Together decks, and then he's here as well. So he gets 2 reprints at the same time. We have Sanji. Dollars. I like these at dollars. Quarters. 50 cents. I feel like this should be 50 cents, but he might be dollars. But it's the best purple 2K out there. Bar for bar. Maria, debatable. This Luffy, these should be quarters. You can buy the reprint at $1. These should be quarters. This card will forever be good. And again, Egghead Luffy deck coming next year. Could be relevant. So on that, quarters, amazing. P-Kid, you buy P-Kid. These are like $3 right now. You get these at quarters. Again, a great pickup. Strong evergreen yellow card. Again, 20 supers per box. Tashigi. I know it's Tashigi. Tashigi. Dollars. And yeah, just kind of like alts or whatever.